In this video, we'll be taking a look at 2 college football games happening on December 23, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 college football games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Troy versus Duke. The highly anticipated 76th Birmingham Bowl is poised to showcase an exciting clash between the Troy Trojans and the Duke Blue Devils on the Saturday preceding Christmas. Notably, both teams find themselves navigating coaching changes, ushering in the era of interim head coaches for this pivotal bowl matchup. Troy enters the game on the heels of a resounding victory in the Sun Belt Championship game, where they triumphed over Appalachian State with a commanding 49-23 scoreline, effortlessly covering the 5.5-point spread as favorites. In contrast, Duke concluded their regular season with a home win against Pitt, prevailing 30-19 as 4.5-point favorites. The Troy Trojans, boasting an impressive 11-2 record this season, clinched the top spot in the Sun Belt West Division. Their journey to the Sun Belt Conference Championship triumph began with an initial 1-2 record, experiencing setbacks against Kansas State and James Madison. However, a remarkable turnaround ensued as they secured victories in every subsequent game. Offensively, the Trojans averaged 31 points per game, with a notable balance of 267.9 passing yards and 158.4 rushing yards per game. Quarterback Gunnar Watson has been a pivotal force, amassing 3,339 yards, 27 touchdowns, and just 5 interceptions. Kimani Vittle's impressive rushing performance, tallying 1,582 yards and 14 touchdowns, has complemented the receiving prowess of Jabber Barber, who has accumulated 65 catches for 892 yards and 5 touchdowns. On the defensive front, the Trojans have excelled, conceding only 17 points per game. Contrastingly, the Duke Blue Devils navigated a 7-5 season, concluding tied for 6th in the Atlantic Coast Conference standings. Their season began with promise, securing a 4-0 record, including a notable victory over Clemson. However, a mid-season stumble saw them lose 3 of the subsequent 4 games, ultimately finishing the year with a 5-3 record. Duke's offensive output stands at 29 points per game, supported by 180.7 passing yards and 168.9 rushing yards per game. Quarterback Grayson Lofties, with 823 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, leads the charge. Notably, Duke faces the challenge of missing key contributors, including their top 3 rushers. Defensively, they concede an average of 20 points per game. Despite Troy's formidable 11-2 record and a remarkable 10-game winning streak, the team finds itself in the Birmingham Bowl, potentially feeling overlooked. Their dominance is evident, having participated in only 3 one-score games throughout the season. The 2 losses came against Power 5 team Kansas State and James Madison, the latter being the Eastern Division champions of the Sun Belt. Duke, on the other hand, commenced the season strongly at 5-1 but stumbled, concluding the year with a 2-4 stretch and a 7-5 record. Notably, Duke's quarterback, Riley Leonard, who played a crucial role in late-season victories, will be absent from the bowl game. As Duke grapples with the absence of key players, including 6 opting out for the transfer portal, Troy stands out with no players in the transfer portal, a remarkable feat for an 11-win group of 5 school. With Grayson Lofties expected to start for the Blue Devils at quarterback, Troy's well-rounded team, averaging 439.8 yards and 31 points per game offensively while allowing only 330.9 yards and 17 points defensively, appears to have the edge. The defensive strength of Troy becomes particularly crucial against Duke, who will rely on a quarterback with a limited starting experience. Duke entering the game with a team that lost 4 of its last 6 games and facing numerous challenges, including being away from home in their opponent's backyard, appears to be at a disadvantage. Lofties, despite showing promise, faces a formidable Troy defense that differs significantly from the defenses he encountered in his limited starts. The absence of key players further compounds Duke's challenges, making the prospect prospect of success for Lofties in this matchup uncertain. The absence of head coaches due to coaching changes levels the playing field in terms of coaching advantages. However, the key distinction lies in the depleted state of Duke's team, missing several star players, while Troy fields a lineup at full strength. Notably, Riley Leonard's absence, coupled with the departure of leading rusher Jordan Waters, leaves Duke at a disadvantage. In contrast, Troy, while missing its leading tackler, is more intact, and Duke's defense is without 6 starters, creating a substantial void that the remaining coaching staff will attempt to address with new players. While Duke, on paper, remains a solid team with a quarterback in Lofties who possesses starting experience, their losses coming into the game cannot be overlooked. Troy, championing a highly competitive Sun Belt conference with 10 teams earning bowl berths, is determined to exploit the vulnerabilities in Duke's defense. Having secured 11 wins in 13 games, Troy aims to cap off its exceptional season with a victory against a Duke team that may not harbor the same enthusiasm for this bowl matchup. Despite Troy being a 7-point favorite over Duke, an initial surprise, a closer examination of the matchup suggests that this margin may not be sufficient. The Trojans, riding a 10-game winning streak, have had ample time to prepare for the game, instilling confidence in their ability not only to secure their 11th win, but also to cover the spread. Duke's recent struggles, with a 2-4 record against the spread in their last 6 games, further indicate the uphill battle they face. In contrast, Troy boasts an impressive 8-1 record against the spread in their last 9 games, making them a more favorable pick in this matchup. The situational perspective for the Blue Devils appears challenging, so the Troy Trojans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Trust in Duke's trends becomes precarious given the substantial changes the team has undergone leading into this bowl game. The certainty lies in Troy's ability to score against a makeshift Duke defense forced to piece together a competitive unit. With Duke missing 6 defensive starters, Troy's offense, which has consistently hit the over in their last 4 games, is poised to capitalize on this opportunity. The nationally televised bowl game, set under 72-degree overcast conditions, provides the ideal backdrop for offensive fireworks. Despite Troy's absence of their top defender, the defensive gaps in Duke's lineup make it likely that points will surge on the scoreboard. Troy enters the game on a 4-game streak of hitting the over, with each game witnessing them scoring 30 or more points. This streak alone suggests that a total in the mid-40s appears unduly conservative for a Troy game. While Duke's defensive statistics contribute to the projected total, the extensive absences on their defensive unit challenge the accuracy of this reflection. Troy's potential to score at least 30 points, coupled with Lofties leading Duke to 3 consecutive overs in the season's closing stretch, hints at the likelihood of both teams contributing to an overplay. Thus, over the projected total becomes our recommended full game total pick for this matchup. Arkansas State versus Northern Illinois. College bowl season is currently in full swing, presenting an exciting clash between mid-major programs hailing from the Sun Belt and the Mid-American Conference. This Saturday afternoon spectacle features the Arkansas State Red Wolves squaring off against the Northern Illinois Huskies in the Camellia Bowl. Concluding their regular season on November 25th, Arkansas State faced a 35-21 road defeat against Marshall, falling short of the 1.5-point underdog line. Conversely, Northern Illinois wrapped up their regular season with a 37-27 road triumph over Kent State on the same date, albeit failing to cover the line as a 19.5-point favorite. The historical backdrop favors the Huskies with a 7-1 advantage in the all-time series, clinching victories in the last 2 meetings, including a decisive 38-20 win in the GoDaddy.com Bowl on January 8, 2012, in Mobile, Alabama. As the game approaches, Arkansas State, with an overall record of 6-6, enters following a recent defeat. Their clash with Marshall resulted in a 35-point defensive setback, ending in a 14-point loss. Notably, freshman quarterback Jalen Rayner displayed prowess by completing 19 of 38 passes for 263 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Despite the setback, Rayner exhibits promise for a successful career with Arkansas State. The team's season averages include 28 points scored and 31 points conceded per game, highlighting the imperative role the defense must play in the upcoming matchup. Northern Illinois, aiming to conclude their season on a high note, boasts a 2-game winning streak. Their previous encounters witnessed a 24-0 triumph over Western Michigan and a 37-27 victory against Kent State. In the latter, Gavin Williams showcased a commendable performance, rushing 17 times for 103 yards. The season statistics for Northern Illinois show an average of 25 points scored and 21 points conceded per game, underscoring the need for consistent offensive performance in the impending game. Arkansas State faced challenges in the final stretch of the regular season, losing 2 of the last 3 games. However, they demonstrated resilience with a 4-1 record against the spread in the final 5 outings. Despite concerns arising from 3 losses in the last 4 road games, their offensive prowess was evident in a remarkable 77-point performance against Texas State on November 18th. This underscores the potential for an explosive offensive display, as evidenced by scoring 31 or more points in 6 of the final 10 outings. Northern Illinois navigated the challenges of the transfer portal, with George Gums and Kakper Rutkiewicz notable absentees. Ontario Brown, a standout with 1,162 rushing yards and 10 rushing scores, remains a key player alongside Trayvon Rudolph, leading the team with 499 receiving yards. The Huskies are poised to capitalize on their experienced quarterback, Lombardi, providing a significant advantage over Rayner, who assumed the starting role due to Shrout's early season injury. With a formidable rushing attack led by Brown, Northern Illinois aims to exploit the vulnerabilities in Arkansas State's leaky defense, which conceded 183.8 yards per game and 4.8 yards per carry this season. The Huskies' dominance in the run game is a focal point, relying heavily on Brown's impressive 1,164 yards on 187 carries and Gavin Williams' additional 448 yards on 86 attempts. Given the glaring weaknesses in the Red Wolves' run defense, ranked 121st in the nation, allowing 192.4 rushing yards per game, Northern Illinois is poised for success. The game plan for the Huskies revolves around establishing a strong running game and solid defensive performance. Despite potentially superior talent on paper, the Arkansas State Red Wolves face a significant challenge due to their porous defense, ranking 127th in total defense and 107th in scoring defense. Northern Illinois possesses a top 50 rushing attack, likely to exploit these defensive vulnerabilities. The Huskies' resilience is evident in their qualification for the bowl spot with 2 consecutive wins, overcoming a 4-6 record. Furthermore, Northern Illinois seeks to break a bowl game drought since 2011, with 7 consecutive losses, adding motivation to secure victory. Considering these factors, the Northern Illinois Huskies to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Northern's defense emerges as one of the unsung heroes of the season, allowing a commendable 22 points per game, ranking 26th in college football. Anticipating a clock-churning offensive strategy coupled with a resolute defense, Northern Illinois is poised to maintain their defensive prowess. On the other side of the spectrum, both teams exhibited a penchant for a measured offensive approach, ranking in the bottom third for offensive plays per game this season. Arkansas State averaged 66.3 plays per game, while Northern Illinois employed only 63.7 plays per game. This suggests a game characterized by a lack of explosive offensive plays. Consequently, our full game total pick leans towards under the projected total. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.